It's Rob!
Tony! And I'm Jeff.
We're in gaming.
And that's you.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Inn. I'm Warshack, of course, and today we're going to be knocking out some Shaman 2.0, well, I should say Mid-Range Shaman 2.0. For those of you who are new to the channel, we will be, in our deck guides, we do 3 ranked games. We win all 3, and we kind of talk about the deck, what's in it, why I do what I do, and all of that good stuff. So, off the bat, we are doing okay this season, and when I mean okay, we're incredibly behind. Normally, by now, we would be at least rank it, I would say somewhere around 5, but as I've stated in some of my past videos, we don't have the time. So, yeah, it's a sad story. We're going to keep the Lightning Storm just because we're playing Huntard, and we know he's going to be playing a decent amount of creatures. The 2-drop's nice and slow, so is the Totemic. If we look, the deck list should be on the right-hand side, like always. I don't actually know if that's the right, could be that side, who knows. So, you can find all the cards there, and yeah. If you don't have all of the cards, feel free to, oh, by the way, we had played this Spider because there's really no other card to play right now. We're not going to passive. Spider's our best choice, and if he ends up attacking with his 2/1 Worgen, we can generate 1/1s out of our Spider and go 1-for-1 in trade. So that's that. Turn 3 is also looking like it's going to be a Totemic. So back to what I was saying about the deck list. If you don't have all the cards, don't you fret or fear. Just leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what you do have, and I'll kind of work with you. Just let me know what you do have. Just don't say, oh, I don't have this card, what do I replace it with? Like I've said many times before, let me know what you have to replace it with. I can't assume, I have no idea what you guys have. I have no idea what cards are in your deck or in your collection. So you saying, hey, I don't have Lothab, Mistcaller, Dr. Boom, or Windlord, what can I replace those with? Well, I don't know what you have. So just let me know what you got. Okay. Back to the game here, which we've ignored. I think we're going to throw this in between these 2 spiders and kill off Loki. That's pretty much, or Leok. I just got him fucking Loki from Tron. Or not Tron, from Thor. My brain is not working properly today. So unfortunately our 2/3 is probably gonna die, yep, to that weapon. At least we have nothing to play on turn 5. Oh, we actually do have something to play now. He played that fucking Arcane Golem, which makes it prime meat for our Fire Elemental, or we'd really have nothing else to play here. So that was actually really nice of him to give us that 1 mana. He did squeeze in that 4 extra damage, but that really doesn't matter. We have a 6/5 on the field, and we still have 23 health, along with that a healing wave that's in our deck, which could possibly heal for half our health. It's insane. A 3-drop that could possibly heal for 14. Okay, so he's kill commanding off our 6/5. This isn't a big deal because we have a Dr. Boom next turn. And we drew into Lothab, which is nice. So we'll probably turn 8 Lothab, and then depending what he plays, if he throws down like a Savannah Highmane right now, which would be absolutely just fantastic, we would hex the Savannah Highmane and play other Lothab.
On your head.
So it looks like he's gonna Knife Juggler and then Call the Hounds. Do we see a Call the Hounds? We do, and it's actually called Unleash the Hounds, not fucking Call the Hounds. I don't know why I always say Call the Hounds. It must have... I'm gonna still call it Call the Hounds. I don't give a fuck. That's what it's gonna be called. Call the Hounds. Unleash the Hounds is fine. Okay, so Lothab, Lightning Storm, which we held on to since the beginning of the game. We kind of definitely got the value out of that. Unfortunately, we held it for a long time. Dude, check out my YouTube channel. Sure. I will check out your YouTube channel sometime in the future. It's Link does hurt. It's sad. No, yeah, it's sad. It does hurt. Oh, the Hunter gave up. Yeah, I'd probably give up if I saw a Lothab, a Dr. Boom, a bot, and still 3 cards in his hand. Or my hand. Alright, so we are 1 game in. We're heading to rank 7. We'll be on our win streak hopefully pretty soon. Get those 2 more wins in the bag. And from here, I believe we're going to be working on... what deck did I have next? I know I had something good next. I have Control Warrior, which is something I put off for a little bit now. Kind of, it's a very expensive deck to build. So, kind of making sure I had all those cards and how to play it correctly was a bit of a doozy. So expect Control Warrior. That's definitely... I'm also going to be redoing the Secret Paladin deck because I've kind of... okay. I forgot I didn't respond back to this guy. I'll check it out. Okay. So, yeah, so I think I'm going to be redoing Secret Paladin, that's for sure. And that's only because I've kind of changed the deck list a little bit in that, and I've tweaked it out so it actually runs so much better than the one I had originally built. The one I had originally built is still good, but just not as good as this revamped one I've made. So we've got a perfect fucking curve. When I mean perfect, almost perfect. We draw a 2-drop and then it's perfect. Oh boy, the 2-drop. So we have our Zombie Chow turn 1. You can't ask for anything better than this against a hunter. We kept the lightning, or the chain lightning, or the lightning storm, whatever the fuck you want to call that spell. You know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna call it chain lightning just because that's what I'm gonna call it. I play a shaman in WoW, and there's nothing. I guess there is a lightning storm. No, I don't think there is. There's that one where it knocks everybody around you, but I thought that was called Thunderbolt. I don't give a. We're calling it chain lightning. End of story. So turn 2, obviously we're going to be playing the spider. Turn 3, totemic, and hopefully it brings out a totem golem or a mana tide or a flame tongue. Totem golem changes games. It doesn't look like this hunter had anything great. We get the Mistcaller, which is nice. We swing for 2 and end our turn, even though the Mistcaller is not that nice. We're looking for a 4-drop, like a Shredder, and then or maybe an Azure Drake or a Defender, because the Defender would work really well to put in between the spiders when it pops. So that would work. That'd be nice. So it doesn't look like this hunter had a really good starting hand. He looks like he's just going face. He's already done 4 damage, hasn't played a single fucking creature. So we're gonna throw down the totemic. What's he gonna give me? Probably nothing good. Yep, nothing good. Healing totem. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just not good. The value out of getting the totemic is either you getting the vitality totem, which would have normally vitality totem really not that great, but against the hunter it's fantastic. So he's gonna give us an extra mana crystal, which is nice. He's gonna push 4 more damage in, and he's gonna swing with his weapon. So he's beating us in health and has only played 1 fucking creature. That's Huntard for you. It's a turn right before the fire elemental, so it doesn't look like we're gonna get that combo off again. From here, I believe I'm going to swing. We need to kill the 4-2, that's without a doubt. He's gonna get 5 health, but I mean, no matter what, the Zombie Chow is going to die sometime in this game, whether it be early or late. So we might as well just get that Zombie Chow's value in. The 1-drop killed the 3-drop, so I call that value. That's value. So we put down a secret, probably going to ping again for 2 and DD-do. From here, we're going to attack in with our creatures, see what that secret is first. So we'll probably swing with our spiders first, just in case it's a bear trap, which it looks like it is. So then from the bear trap, we're going to fire elemental it, and then swing for 3. I guess it really didn't matter what we attacked with first. And then from here, we're probably going to throw down the flame tongue totem, maybe even Mistcaller. Getting that Mistcaller down really does help everything afterwards. It loses a little bit of tempo and a little bit of damage because we won't be playing the flame tongue, but we'll see what he plays, and we'll kind of go around that. And I actually have my coffee here to my left, but it's extremely fucking hot, so I don't even want to attempt to drink it. You know, for the rest of the game, I'll be like, ooh, it's just gonna burn my mouth, but it's very tempting to drink. Very tempting. So, let's talk about the deck list, because, oh, by the way, guys, nice comment that someone made for constructive criticism purposes. Yeah, I said that right. I said I say too much. So if I end up saying too much in a video, you catch me, and I'm like kind of putting in audio filters, let me know. Leave a comment. Be like, you're saying too much, still, fix it. And every time I see that comment, I'll think about it, and then in our videos, I will do try the best I can to, you know, put in audio filters like saying or yeah or so. I just did it again. It's gonna be so hard to get around that. Holy crap, I just said I'm not gonna say it, and then I just said it right after that. Okay, so we're just gonna play Mistcaller here, or the Flame Tongue. We need to clear his field, that's for fucking sure. Mistcaller Zombie Chow, I suppose. The Zombie Chow will be a 3-4, which is quite nice. We'll kill off the Leper, we'll kill off the 2-1, we'll swing for 6, and we will play the buffed up Zombie Chow. Look at that Zombie Chow. That 3-4 Zombie Chow. That's a very powerful Zombie Chow. Alright, so the deck list, we're playing double Urshock. This is kind of standard in any Shaman deck. He said well played. I don't think he can pump out 16 damage with 6 mana. Just did it again. We'll get this, guys. I'm not going to let the destroy me. I actually meant to say it that time. We'll just wait patiently. Actually, what deck is this? This is our Mid-Range Shaman deck. I also received the comment that talking in chat, like when people whisper me, is quite disruptive to the actual gameplay. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Oh no, kill command, he's dealing lots of damage. But we are not going to lose. So we're going to play that. We're going to swing for 4, swing for 6, swing for 4, and swing for 4 again. And he gives up. Okay. Second hunter down. It's just I like beating hunters with shaman, because shaman's like the most not played class besides rogue, and it's not that great in comparison to some of these other classes. Like secret paladin, that deck is just so fucking broken. And then you got mid-range shaman over here who gets like a 4/4/6 drop that gives everything +1/+1, which is nice. But putting all secrets in your deck on the field, are you insane, Blizzard? Hello? You Christmas every day, like Christmas tree of secrets. Okay, so Earth Shock. This is pretty much just a standard shaman card.
Versus
I said I didn't say I caught myself. Fuck! God damn it! This is so hard. Okay, getting rid of the chain lightning. Yeah, chain lightning. We've already discussed why I'm gonna call it that. Because we're not playing a hunter. We kept the zombie chow. We kept the flame tongue, of course, to power up. So we play the zombie chow first, and let's say he plays like a mana worm or something. We can throw that flame tongue next to it, kill off the mana worm. It'll still have 2 health left, and it'll be able to continually take down. Ooh, we actually did play mana worm. It was either coining into like a sorcerer's apprentice or a mad scientist. Either way, we were gonna kill whatever he places. We're gonna put the flame tongue totem on the right hand side, because when we play our totems, they always go on the right hand side. So if he doesn't end up killing the zombie chow, at least we can buff our totems, which is nice. So I believe he's probably gonna frostbolt the flame tongue totem. If he frostbolts the frostbolts the zombie chow, that's fucking retarded. Because the zombie chow only looks scary because the flame tongue totem. That's not smart of this guy. He shouldn't have done that. Now we can play spiders on the left-hand side of the flame tongue totem, and we can use our weapon on our face, kill off the cog master. Next turn, play another spiders, or passive and play spiders. Kill off whatever he plays with the spider we have on the field now, because it is 3 attacks. So if he plays mech warper, it's dead. If he plays coins into a shredder, actually he already used coin on the cog and the frostblade. Yeah, so he's fucked. He's fucked. Okay, so he played mech warper and a snow checker. Those are some big plays from him. If he would have frost bolted the flame tongue, he would be in a better situation, but he's not. So we're gonna keep the flame totem here. It's awesome that we got a taunt totem. We'll throw the spider to the left again, because totems are always on the right hand side. So we all I said it again. So that's why we did. Shaman playing cards and placement is very important. So just remember, when you have flame tongue totem out, play your creatures normally to the left, and then when you passive, your totems go to the right. It's one of those decks you kind of have to watch creature placement. A lot of other decks you don't really have to, unless you're running like an Aldor or something. Or not Aldor, but Defender of Argus. But for the most part, it doesn't really matter. But in a Shaman, it does. Shaman, it does. So we're going to use our spider to kill off a snow chugger value. We're going to kill another spider to kill off another 4/4. It's going to make more spiders that are going to turn into 3/1 value creatures. Having a 3/1 that came out of a 2-drop, like, it's just... The Flame Tongue Totem makes things possible that would never normally be possible. It just allows you to kill whatever the fuck you want. And the reason we're running the Flame Tongue is because, first, it's fucking broken, but it also works really well with the Haunted Creeper. It's like one of those 2 combinations are just so good, because it makes... And also with the Totemic, because it does make totems that you can use to kill off other stuff. So. And he keeps killing off the creatures that the Flame Tongue is buffing, but not dealing with the actual issue at hand. The issue is the Flame Tongue Totem. That's what you need to get rid of. And if you don't, I just fucking did it again.
That was a mistake.
It's all done. And this was kind of a semi-mistake, because from here, I thought we were going to give the spider a double buff. I should have put it on the other side of the spider, but I fucked up. I fucked up pretty hard. And we'll put the shredder in between the 2, which is, again, fucking retarded. I am so dumb. We should have attacked with the totems first, and then placed the shredder in there. God, I am so bad at this game. And, Ragusera's good. And it looks like we were able to get those 3 wins in a row with this mid-shaman deck. You kind of got to see how it was played. Not so much because the games are really short, but that's normally how these games go with this deck. You have control off right off the bat. You've got control because you're running the Zombie Chow, the Rockbiter, the Haunted Creeper, Flame Tongue, the Chain Lightning if they ever even get a field. You've got the Defender of Argus to buff the creatures you already have on the field, whether those are Haunted Creepers, Totems, your Zombie Chows. Also, the Totemic makes huge plays if you get the Totem Golem down. It's just this deck starts off really strong, has a decent middle game with the Azure Drakes, the Powdered Treasures, and the Loatheb, and then this deck finishes off with, of course, the Dr. Boom and the Windrunner, and if you can get the Mistcaller out on turn 6, the rest of you have a late game from there because the creatures are just so buffed up. It seems like 1/1 wouldn't make that big of a difference, but it really does. You can also, if you don't have some of these cards, like let's say you don't have a Mistcaller, you can throw in like a Doomhammer if you want. Doomhammer would not be bad. Also, Sledge Belchers would not be bad, depending on what you do and don't have. The reason I'm not running Sledge Belchers is because I'm running 2 Defender of Arguses. So you normally only run Sledge Belchers when you're going against a lot of aggro decks because Sledge Belcher really slows them down. But I find that more people are running Ironbeak Owl now, so they'll Ironbeak your Sledge, making it useless. But if you have a creature, if you're Defendering Argus 2 creatures, them silencing a 1/1 that turned into a 2/2 is not as big as a deal as them silencing your 5-drop is now a 3/5 that doesn't even get its death rattle and doesn't have taunt. So that's why I'm running the 2 Arguses, plus again, it has a really strong early game. That's what this, if you don't start off strong with this deck, you will not win. You have to be able to play a creature on turn 1 or 2. If you don't, you're going to be so far behind in this deck. So just make sure you're mulliganing for creatures on turn 1 and 2. Not looking for spells at all unless it's the Rockbiter weapon and maybe an Earthshock depending on who you're going to be going against. From here, we will discuss the deck list a little bit for those of you who are still tuned in here. So the Earthshock and the Rockbiter weapon are just 2 cards that are pretty much in every single Shaman deck. The Rockbiter works well with the Doomhammer. It works well with the Windlord. So let's say you Rockbiter the Windlord. It now instead has 3 attack. It has 6 attack, and that's 12 damage for 9 mana. It's a huge little burst of damage here because this deck does not have burst. It does not play any of the Shaman spells that we're normally used to seeing. So it gets its burst off having creatures on the field. This is a value-oriented deck. You need to make favorable trades, and you need to keep creatures on the field from turn 1 or 2 on. Every turn something needs to be played. I just fucking said it again. God damn it. I will watch it. I'm going to keep like a counter in the corner if it ends up getting that bad. Okay, so the Zombie Chow, we've discussed why we have to have those early game minions here. The Flame Tongue Totem is just a great card. We've seen why that's good compared with the Haunted Creeper. Those two go together really well. So let's say turn 2, you have the option to play a Flame Tongue or a Haunted Creeper. Always play the Haunted Creeper prior to playing Flame Tongue. You don't want them to know you have a Flame Tongue. When you play the Flame Tongue, from there you're making your favorable trade. So it's like, okay, you've got 2 creatures on field, you put Flame Tongue in between, you kill off, let's say, a Spider that has 3 attack to his Mech Warper. Now you have 2 1/1s that are actually 3 1s if they sit next to the Flame Tongue, and then the other card got a buff. So just keep in mind, again, creature placement and when to play what. We're running 1 healing wave. 2 is just too much for this deck. It honestly, if you use 1 and you still find yourself dying in that game, it's because you didn't have enough creatures on the board or didn't get the clear that you needed to stop taking as much damage. This isn't a survival deck. This is a pretty much do well off the start, burn out somewhere along turn 8, but most of the time you won't burn out because hopefully you'll draw a Mistcaller, and there's huge cards in this deck. I mean, Windlord, Dr. Boom, Fire Elementals, Loatheb. I mean, those are some big creatures, especially if they get the Mistcaller on them for someone else to deal with. Heading on to Hex here, running 2 of these. I find that it's just one of those cards that's just too good not to put 2 in. I see a lot of Shamans only running 1, maybe even none, but it's just like it's a 3-drop, get whatever you want out of the way. If you compare it to, like, let's say a Sheep from a Mage deck, that costs 4 mana, and they get a 1/1 that you still have to deal with. Even though the 1/1's not that huge, I mean, I would rather deal with a 0/1 taunt prior to a 1/1 that counts as a beast. So if you're going against a hunter, they can still kill command through it. I don't know. I just think Hex is a great fucking card. I just did it again. Fuck my life. And also, if you when you play Hex, make sure you get your attacks in prior to playing Hex. I've seen some Shamans make the mistake of like hexing and then wasting an attack. It's attack first, then Hex, if that's what you want to do. From here, there's not any draw in the deck whatsoever besides the Azure Drakes, so that's why we're running one Mana Tide Totem. If you get this, I just fucking did it again. If you get this early on in the game, it's kind of bad, but most of the time you'll draw it around turn, I want to say 4 to 7, so just mulligan it. You don't need it on turn 1, and hopefully you get it somewhere later in the game where you can, you know, tuck it in behind something that has taunt that you've been able to defend her of Argus, or even if you like, let's say, have a Loatheb out or like a bigger creature, they're obviously most of the time want to target the bigger creature, and if they don't, you're actually saving yourself because they're going to focus more on the Mana Tide Totem instead of your bigger creature, which then can, you know, deal more damage. From here, we're running 2 Totemics. These guys, in my opinion, are just great. I mean, if you get the Totem Golem out of them, or a Mana Tide, or a Flame Tongue, the value of this card is absolutely insane for a turn 3 card. But if you if you end up getting, let's say, like a 1/1 or a Healing Totem, it's not bad because you're still getting a decent, you're getting 2 cards out of a 3-drop, and 3-drop is still a 3/2, but it's just not as good. It's an RNG based card, so what can you expect? Running 2 Defender of Argus, we've been over that. The Piloted Shredder, in my opinion, is probably, again, one of the best 4-drops in the deck. You've seen this almost in every single one of my decks, I want to say, so having the Piloted Shredder in here is just one of those things it's going to be in there. It's a great 4-drop. Fuck, caught myself. The Azure Drake, running 2 of these. This is a Shaman deck, so it works well with the Earth Shock, the Chain Lightning, Lightning Storm, and it also allows you to draw a card. It's going to be most people's first priority when it's on the field, because they think having that +1 spell damage is really, you know, that you're going to be running Lightning Bolts, Crackles, Lava Burst, but you're actually not. So if they focus down the Azure Drakes, let's say before, like, a Loatheb or a Fire Elemental, that's fine. Let them do it. We're running Loatheb because I can't help it, guys. This is terrible. I've never realized how many times I said or before one of our viewers had commented it, and it's really, I understand why it can be quite distracting, because once you kind of pick up on it once, every time you say it past then, it's just like, dude, stop saying it. Like, it's unnecessary. You can just keep talking. There's no reason to say, you know what you're saying next. Continue the flow. So, Loatheb, it's the turn 5 mega play. It stops them from casting any ability that will be able to clear the field. So by turn 5, you most likely have at least 2 to 3 creatures on the field. You play Loatheb, they're forced to play creatures, and no, they can't clear your field that turn. So let's say you're going against a priest. This is a huge play because they can't Shadow Ward Death you, they can't Holy Nova, they can't Light Bomb if they went, I believe, first, and it's then turn 6 for them. So just make sure you play Loatheb accordingly when you want to save your field and you're following up with the next turn lethal. The 2 Fire Elementals are kind of just like, it's a great Shaman 6-drop. I mean, it's no Savannah High main, but it is deal 3 damage. As soon as it comes out, you don't need a dragon in your hand like the Corruptor. So I find this card really, really nice. The Mist Collar is actually not necessary whatsoever. I just find it because it's a new Shaman Legendary. It's not bad at all, and it also, it really, I like it a lot, but it's, again, not necessary. You could change it out with a Doom Hammer if you want. There's only 3 5-drops in the deck. Having 4 wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't push more than 4 5-drops in the deck, though. So just be cautious on that. And also, depending on the play, you want to play Fire Elemental over Mist Collar in most games if it's used for a tempo play. The Dr. Boom standard, I'm not even going to go over that. And the Windlord is just one of those Shaman cards that it's kind of hard to replace the Windlord because he's your only true burst in the deck if you combo him with the Rockbiter weapon. Like I said, that's the 12 damage burst in this deck, and he also makes favorable trades. Let's say you need to clear a taunt first. Not a big deal. His Divine Shield pops off first, so you're able to kill a creature and still do damage to him. So just pay attention to him and kind of make sure you fit him in when you need to deal that extra damage. But this deck, remember guys, this is not a face deck. You're not just all going face. You have to make valuable trades with this deck and kind of slowly but surely, I've said value a lot, but that's pretty much what this deck does, is outvalue your opponents in the concern for field control. Hand control is really not your biggest concern with this deck. Just because it's Shaman, there's not a lot of card draw as is. You can run Ancestral Knowledge, but it's really not part of this deck. You don't need it. That's why you have the Azure Drakes and your Mana Tide to kind of keep it flowing, but also continuously putting creatures on the board. So that pretty much wraps up this deck. The games were, I just did it again. The games were pretty fast that we played. But that's the deck. These are fast games. It's going to destroy any aggro deck you play for the most part. The Defender of Argus, the Totemics, the Spiders, the Zombie Chows, it all just makes for... It's really an aggro killer, I find this deck to be. If you go up against maybe like a hand lock, you'll find yourself in a little bit of a pickle because there's no big game hunter. You do have the double hex, so just make sure you're hexing the giants, trying to push them as much damage and kind of keeping board control as best you can. If you find yourself playing a lot of hand locks, taking out maybe the Mistcaller and putting in a big game hunter, not a bad idea at all. So with that, that wraps up this deck guide. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Like always, guys, I'm Warshack with the Inn, and happy whatever the hell day it is.